Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. The wind is roaring, the rain is pounding, and everything around you feels chaotic. You're drenched, exhausted, and the storm seems endless. But you stand firm, knowing that behind every storm is a calm, behind every hardship is ease. This is what patience, Sabr in Islam, feels like. It's not just about waiting for the storm to end, but how you endure the storm, how you trust Allah, and how you hold on to your faith when everything around you tells you to let go. Today, we're diving deep into the beauty, importance, and rewards of Sabr. How can we develop it? What does it truly mean? And why is it one of the most powerful tools for success in this life and the next? We all face moments where life feels unbearable. Maybe you've lost someone you love deeply. Maybe you've prayed for something so long, and the answer hasn't come. Maybe you're struggling financially, emotionally, or physically. It's during these moments that we feel like breaking. But here's the beautiful truth. Islam teaches us that no test is sent without purpose. Allah promises us in the Quran, "We will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives, and fruits, but give glad tidings to the patient." Al-Baqarah 55. Did you hear that? Glad tidings for the patient. Those who endure with faith, hope, and trust in Allah. Let me take you back to the story of Prophet Yaqub. He lost his beloved son, Yusuf, for years. Can you imagine the pain of a father not knowing if his son was dead or alive? He cried until his eyes turned white from grief. Yet, despite his heartbreak, he said, "I only complain of my grief and sorrow to Allah." Surah Yusuf 1286. This is the essence of patience, expressing your pain, but doing so with dignity, trust, and reliance on Allah alone. Yaqub teaches us that patience isn't about being emotionless. It's okay to cry, to feel sadness, or to seek comfort. But through it all, you hold on to faith and never lose hope in Allah's mercy. Now let's look at the story of Prophet Ayub. He was tested with illness that took over his body, wealth that disappeared, and family he lost. His friends abandoned him. He was left alone, struggling. Yet through all of this, he didn't complain. Instead, he turned to Allah and said, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." Surah Al-Anbiya 2183. Think about those words. No anger, no bitterness, just a quiet, humble plea to Allah. And what was his reward? Allah restored his health, his family, and his wealth, even better than before. But the greatest reward was the patience he showed and the closeness he gained to Allah. Here's the reality. Every single one of us will face tests. Allah says in Surah Baqarah 2:6, Allah does not burden a soul beyond that it can bear. That means whatever hardship you're facing right now, you are strong enough to handle it. Why? Because Allah knows you better than you know yourself. He wouldn't test you with something you can't handle. Sometimes the test feels unbearable because we try to carry it on our own. But when you rely on Allah, when you say Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel, Allah is sufficient for us and He is the best disposer of affairs, you'll find strength you never knew you had. Let me ask you something. How do you develop Sabr? The first step is remembering who you're being patient for. You're not being patient for people or for your situation to change immediately. You're being patient because you trust in Allah's wisdom and timing. The second step is to remind yourself of Allah's promises. He says in Surah Ash-Shar 94:6, "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." Notice how he doesn't say after hardship, but with hardship. That means your relief is already written. It's just a matter of time. The third step is to make dua. Never stop turning to Allah. Pour your heart out to Him. Cry to Him. Ask Him for strength, patience, and relief. Because Allah loves it when His servants turn to Him in their moments of weakness. Now let's talk about the reward for patience. Imagine standing on the Day of Judgment, and you're told that your reward is so vast, it can't even be measured. Allah says in Surah Az-Zumar 39:10, "Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account." That's a reward beyond your imagination. No limits, no measure. Can you picture that? Your patience during hardship, your patience with obedience, your patience against sin, all of it being rewarded in ways you can't even fathom. That's the power of Sabr. Here's something else to think about. Patience isn't just about hardship. It's also about staying consistent with deeds and resisting temptation. Waking up for Fajr every morning when your bed feels warm and inviting, that's Sabr. Holding back from sin when the opportunity is right in front of you, that's Sabr. Waiting for your du'as to be answered, even when it feels like nothing is changing, that's Sabr. And each time you show patience, you're strengthening your relationship with Allah. Let me share a story that might inspire you. A man was struggling financially. He had debts piling up, and his business was failing. Every night he would pray, asking Allah for help. Months passed, and nothing changed. But instead of losing hope, he reminded himself of the story of Ayub as and continued making dua. One day, out of nowhere, an opportunity came that changed his entire life. His business flourished, and his debts were cleared. But here's the beautiful part. He said the greatest blessing wasn't the money, but the connection he built with Allah through his hardship. This is what Sabr gives you, a deeper relationship with your Creator. So my brothers and sisters, when life tests you, remember this. Hardships are temporary, but the reward for patience is eternal. No matter how dark the night feels, the sun will rise. No matter how heavy the storm, it will pass. Your job is to trust Allah, hold on to patience, and know that His help is always near. Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:153, "Indeed, Allah is with the patient." Imagine that. Allah, the one who controls everything, is with you, guiding you, comforting you, and helping you through your struggles. I want to leave you with this thought. The next time you're tested, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "Ya Allah, what do you want me to learn from this?" Because every test is an opportunity to grow closer to Allah, to strengthen your faith, and to become the best version of yourself. Now I want to hear from you. What test are you going through right now, and how has patience helped you? Share your story in the comments because your experience might inspire someone else. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that strengthens your faith. May Allah grant us all the patience to endure life's tests and the strength to trust in His wisdom. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for our next video, where we'll explore the importance of trusting Allah's timing. You don't want to miss it.